During the storm, my father was trapped beneath a column. If I hadn't pulled him out, he would have died. Before I did, I hesitated. I was thinking that maybe my life would be better off if I just left him to die.
You saved him, that's the important part.
No, my father won't see it that way. Forgiveness is not in his emotional lexicon. If anything, he'll probably see my saving him as a sign of weakness.
What are you gonna do?
Help my friend find his dad.
I came to shoot some pool, but it looks like this establishment's been closed.
My father's presence has required certain sacrifices.
Why don't you throw him out?
Clark, it's not like the thought hasn't occurred to me, but his blindness changes the situation.
Look, just because your father has a problem doesn't mean he needs to ruin your life.
I wasn't aware a $2,000 coat came with a backbone. What's going on?
I'd like to borrow the Ferrari. I've got a hot date tonight, and I want to rock her world.
Rock her world? So Lana at last.
Well, like you said, man needs to know when to make his move.
Hey, I'm glad you're finally acting on your feelings, but Lana's never struck me as the kind of girl who'd be impressed by a Ferrari.
Fast cars, fancy home, and a ton of money never hurt you, did it? Come on, Lex, I just want to make tonight special.
I don't know. It's a very expensive piece of machinery, difficult to handle.
It's not like I'm going to, drive it off a bridge. All you have to ask yourself is, who's more responsible than Clark Kent?
Das Armagnac, 1963. It's my favorite.
There was a time when I thought our taste in brandy was the only thing we had in common.
And now?
I've been thinking about the months after the meteor shower. The way people looked at me. A bald-headed boy thinking I was a freak.
No, please, Lex, not another tale of your tortured youth and how I failed you as a father.
Actually, you gave me some excellent advice. You told me to stop feeling sorry for myself. These were the cards fate had dealt me, and it was best that I accept it and move on. Stop acting like your blindness gives you an excuse for self-pity. Lex. Look,
Lex, you saved my life, and I want to say thank you.
To a fresh start.
Yeah.
Lex, it's all right with you? I'm gonna keep the Ferrari a little bit longer. I'll send it back when I get myself set up.
Oh, slow down. Clark, what's going on?
I left home.
What happened? Did you have a fight with your folks?
My parents don't understand me. The truth is, there's nothing left for me in Smallville.
What about Lana?
She's old news. I got a new girl, Jessie.
Kind of sudden, isn't it?
Look, you're the one always telling me I need to find my destiny. Well, one thing's for certain, it's not here in Kansas.
So you've just packed your stuff and you're off.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Really? Why don't you fill me in?
Let's just say that when I'm through showing the world what I can do, I'll have everything I've ever wanted. I may be even richer than you.
Maybe you're right to get away from your folks. Maybe I should do the same. If my father wants the mansion so much, he can have it. I never wanted to live in Smallville anyway.
You can come with me.
Nobody's using the penthouse in Metropolis. We could stay there.
Clark Kent and Lex Luthor. I like the sound of that.
Let me just tie up some loose ends at the office. Make yourself at home. I'll be right back.
I need to say something to you. If I've acted ruthlessly, it was because I knew my opponents wouldn't hesitate to do the same. I know you've always seen us as opponents. Lex, when I needed help, you saved my life. And I thank you, son. Listen. I know you agreed to go right ahead, right away, to operate.
I thought it was best to take immediate action.
I would have done the same thing, and we both would have been wrong.
What are you saying?
I'm blind.
Kept you in the foster care
You're
system.
not helping things, Lex.
I never wonder why you were never adopted. If you were in trouble, how you always got bailed out at the last minute. Don't tell me you thought you were just lucky. We're a social experiment. One son gets everything, the other gets nothing.
That's ludicrous. I would never do that.
Yeah, you would. Just like you tipped off the shooter. Your friend Dirk was on our father's payroll. Edge City was a setup.
Shut up. You wanted to use me too.
Yes, I did, and for that I am truly sorry. But trust me, trying to gain his love and respect is not worth it. Chopin? I always thought you found him to be too sentimental.
No, Lex. I find that he sometimes lacks subtlety. Sometimes. I take it from your tone, you're angry with me. What transgression have I committed now?
I wasted yesterday interviewing more prospects, only to find you've hired Mrs. Kent. What's your angle, Dad?
Angle? Martha Kent is a very capable woman. Unshakable honesty like hers. It's hard to come by.
She just happens to be one of the few pillars of this community who could ingratiate a despised tycoon to the citizens of Smallville.
I hadn't thought of it in those terms. I suppose that is an unexpected benefit.
I don't know what your sudden interest is in the Kents, but I want you to stay away from them. They mean a lot to me.
And I wonder what they would think of your trying to meddle in their affairs. You think if you're a very good boy, they'll welcome you into their family?
Well, it would certainly be a step up.
You know, Lex, Zeus had a son, an adopted son, who thought he could find a home among mortals. You know what happened to the well-intentioned Prometheus?
His dad had him chained to a rock and his liver was eaten by vultures. Why?
Prometheus was immortal, Lex. No matter how much he wanted to escape the world he was born into, the world of the gods, he never could. It wasn't possible.
If I find out that you have any agenda that could hurt the Kents, this amiable father-son detente will come to an abrupt end. I'm putting my support and money behind your opponent. You'd save yourself a lot of trouble by announcing your retirement now.
You can kiss that plant expansion goodbye. I will personally see that it never gets approval.
I'm prepared to sacrifice it if that's what it takes to defeat you.
You know, you've got money, but you're not from here. People don't like you. Don't laugh at me. All it'll take is some fiery campaign speeches about outside interests controlling this community, and you'll start to feel the heat.
When Winston Churchill heard about the attack on Pearl Harbor, he broke out a bottle of champagne and said, "We've won the war." His generals looked at him like he'd lost his mind. America's Pacific Fleet was wiped out, France was overrun, and the Luftwaffe was bombing London. Churchill said America is like a giant boiler. Light a fire under it, and there's no limit to the amount of heat it can generate.
No, I can't do it.
That's just too bad.
Lucas, please don't. I will not kill my son.
jeans.
It's blanks.
An embassy in Moscow, Dad.
Uh-huh.
It was so riddled with surveillance hardware, the State Department had to abandon it.
I've got a meeting, Lex. I don't have time to chat about foreign affairs.
Actually, the topic is domestic. I've discovered a bug problem right here in my very own home.
Corporate espionage. It's a fact of modern business, Lex. I'm surprised your security was so lax.
Still, it's hard to imagine how the perpetrator could have gained access to the mansion.
Do I detect a faint whiff of innuendo?
Of course not, Dad. I just wanted to congratulate you on winning that contract.
Oh, is that what this is about? Making an excuse for your defeat? Because I don't have time for excuses.
Dad, I heard what happened. Are you okay?
I'm relatively unscathed, thanks to Martha and Clark.
Clark?
Yeah. He's a rather extraordinary young man, don't you think?
I just wanted to ask you and Mr. Kent for a favor. I know we've had our differences, so this might sound strange, but it would mean a lot to me. It's customary for the bride and groom to sit with their parents at the rehearsal dinner, so since mine won't be there, I was wondering, would the two of you consider standing in? Lex, we would be honored. Great. That just leaves one open seat at the table. Yes, I'm aware I'm late. Look, make my apologies to the EPA rep and start the plant tour without me. Yes, I still plan on being in Metropolis for the charity auction. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, I've been here less than 5 minutes.
It's too late. I've already started writing the ticket.
Look, I'm in a hurry and I have a headache. I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Wouldn't want you to miss your tea time.
These are for a charity auction.
So you'll give away a $4,000 set of golf clubs, but you'll gripe over a $25 parking ticket.
I'm sorry. Have I done something to offend you?
It's always the rich ones that put up a stink. Some of us actually work for a living. Watch where you park your car in the future, Lex.
Hey!
Are you crazy?
I employ 2,500 people in this town. We all pay taxes, which provide your salary. Get a real job.